Hello, gamers. I've had a rough kind of day and a half. About, I don't know, 10 of yesterday on Sunday, my day off, I just felt a migraine coming on and it has just totally wrecked me. So I took work today off. And I don't know, I think, like the title of the video suggests, today kind of just beat me. Today just won. And I just wanted to try and make a video about like what my thought process is when days like today happen, and kind of just an honest, candid video about, not every day is a day where I can like put a totally positive spin on everything, because I don't know, days like today just remind me of when I was really depressed, kind of just sitting by myself all day, doing nothing, whether it be playing video games or not going to school or whatever. And it's just, I try and reclaim parts of my life, but it's hard, because for years, when you're conditioned to feel like everything that is, this feeling, this kind of defeated or tired or migraine feeling that I have right now, that is not necessarily bad by itself, but is associated by proxy, with all of these bad feelings and bad experiences. It's hard to get out of this funk, and it's hard to keep your dukes up, keep your defenses up, and keep going. And so I just wanted to make like a candid video just saying that like today won, and just my thought process on how to continue and not let today become tomorrow. And so I missed out on work today. I had to take some migraine meds last night, and they make me feel really, really wonky. And it's just, and then because I'm feeling really, really wonky, I was all sleepy and just kind of in and out of half sleep throughout the day. Tried to play some video games, record some footage. The 3 games that I have here are just games that I felt like I could, play without really thinking, without really trying too hard. So we have Backpack Battles first, and then some Civ 7, and then some Turtle WoW. All games that I feel like are good games to kind of just disassociate to. And that's about the limit of my capacity right now. And all games that I feel like are kind of just comfort games that I hope to play more on the channel when I'm feeling a little bit better, and maybe, like I put in the description of the last video, like stream eventually, because I feel like they're kind of like chill games that you can read chat with. Regardless, today was just hard, just brings back all of these doubts about, am I beyond what I used to be, like when I was super depressed? Am I ready for a full-time job? Am I capable of a full-time work schedule doing, kind of hard work? And, it's just hard to remind yourself that everybody has days like this, and it's hard to give yourself credit for resting on sick days. And I've always had a special trouble, like, giving myself sick days, because of the reasons I already talked about, how I gave myself so many quote unquote rest days when I was depressed, really depressed, and when my symptoms were super bad, that I've just kind of been conditioned to hate being idle, whether it be actually idle or rest idle or, deserved or undeserved. It all just brings back the same trauma and the same trauma response. And so I just wanted to talk about, like what my thought process is for trying to get up and show up tomorrow. And so, right now it's late. I can't go to sleep because of my head. I'm probably just rambling, not making a lot of sense because I'm on my meds, migraine meds. But I just wanted to do something that I could point to and say I did. And so that's where this video comes through. And I've just always had such a hard time, especially with this new job. My friend, I can't remember if I mentioned, but my friend kind of got me an in, and it doesn't only reflect on me missing work today, it reflects on him, and I felt really bad about that, and I tried to apologize, and he obviously caught a little bit of heat today because of it, and I'm probably going to catch a little bit of heat tomorrow because of it. And it's deserved, but also kind of not deserved, and it's just hard to put strain on relationships like that, and strain on a new job that's very important that I have. But at the same time, it was necessary, and I have to continue to remind myself that it was necessary to take a rest day today. And then it was necessary to just have a day to vegetate through this horrible friggin' migraine that's killing me. And it is important, and that everything happens for a reason. And all of my videos thus far have been kind of like putting a positive, upbeat spin on everything, and I wanted to, I think it's important to see both sides of the fight, that not every day is a positive spin kind of day, and that some days just kick your ass. And that's what happened today, is it just kicked my ass. All of these clips of these video games are kind of within the afternoon of today. Just not, they're only like 30-minute clips that have been sped up a little bit, because I haven't even had the motivation to, like, I spent probably more time scrolling up and down my Steam library today, just doing like the classic meme of just, well, I could play that, I could play that, I could play that, not really choosing anything. And also just feeling guilty about playing video games when I didn't really quote unquote earn it, because I didn't go to work today and I should be resting, but this is part of resting, and it's just, it's really hard to give myself credit. I think I've mentioned before that I have unlimited grace for everyone else in the world. If this happened to, let's say, my friend, if I was in his situation, I'd be like, yeah, don't worry about it. You're totally good. It sucks that I caught heat today, and that you're gonna catch heat tomorrow, and it sucks that you have a migraine and all of that. If I was in his shoes, I would have unlimited grace. But since it's me talking about me, absolutely not. And it's just so hard to give yourself, it's so hard for me to give myself credit when it comes to things like this. But I think it's just important to see that not every day is a victory. Not every day is a, and that it is a battle for me as well. It's not, I'm not always happy-go-lucky. In fact, I'm probably not even most of the time happy-go-lucky. And I'm just a little guy trying to make his way in the world. And it's maybe what I'm trying to say in this video is just, if you find yourself in this situation that I'm in right now, where you are just beating yourself up and beating yourself up and beating yourself up, just like, know that it happens. And that's all I can really say, is just know that it happens. And the most important thing is to not just totally fall back into all of your bad habits, to not let this become a streak. It doesn't mean that you can't. It doesn't mean don't take sick days or something like that. It doesn't mean don't take rest days. It just means that tomorrow is a new day. And that's what I'm going to have to tell myself, and that's what I'm going to have to say tomorrow morning when I wake up. It's just like, all right, well, I'm going to catch a little bit of heat at work. I'm probably going to get blown a little bit of shit by my coworkers. It's like, oh, new guy thinks he doesn't have to work, and probably, maybe catch a little shit from my friend who helped me get the job, oh, well, you really screwed me over there. And I just have to continue to apologize, continue to be humbled, continue to give myself grace. And it's difficult. And acknowledge that today beat me, but you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. I think I quoted that as well before. And it's just acknowledge that, and I'm talking partially to myself now, not just to you, but just acknowledge that, it's okay to have days where you lose, and days where you lose are going to happen because no one's perfect, especially not you, if that makes sense. Like, it's a lot easier to present as perfect than it is to actually be perfect. And it's a lot easier to look at people and see a kind of, especially successful people or people that you idolize, and see like a paragon of. And that's another reason that videos like this are important to put on the channel, is because you could easily look at all of the videos up to this point and kind of see like a little bit of a paragon, where it's like, oh, this guy kind of has it together, like he's only putting out positive content and stuff. But I have my days where I just lose, and today I lost, and hopefully tomorrow it's not going to affect my tomorrow, because tomorrow, even if I still don't feel 100%, I'm going into work and I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to take all of the shit that I get blown, if any, and I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to show up, and I'm not going to let today become a self-fulfilling prophecy tomorrow. And I think that's really all that you can do, is just acknowledge that today happened, acknowledge that your feelings are valid, acknowledge that you're not perfect, and just move on. Because what else are you going to do? Just let today become the rest of your life just because you had one imperfect day? And so we're reaching the end of this video, and I, again, probably just rambled, and I'm sorry I can't really mask my voice right now. I'm just in a lot of head pain and head space right now. But just know that it's okay to have days like I did today. But look, I still put out the video. I still at least showed up, at least in some way. And I truly hope that something like this, can help me or you when we have days like this in the future. I'll see you.